We love Arsenal.
Oh yes.
We are Arsenal.
No mercy.
We're Arsenal. Forever. We are Arsenal.
Road to Wembley.
We love Arsenal.
Oh yes.
We are Arsenal.
Can't stop us.
We're Arsenal. Forever. Tony Adams. Ray Parlour.
Yes, and good evening. It's your reaction show here. It's the Armoury TV, FTP Sports, Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. We did what we had to do. However, certain results didn't go our way. But look, season's done now. And before we all get into it, I want to say thank you and welcome to Mr. Silver Fox, Gamza, and Nigerian Englishman.
Obviously,
Number one regional leader. Final
day of the season. Mate, final, bro. That's
Oh my God!
End of this gut-wrenching, soul-destroying season, bro. I'm
It
happy.
wasn't it. It has been. It has been. It's been. You know, we mentioned yesterday what the season's been like. You know, too many more downs than ups. Too many. You know, the form at the start of the season was abysmal. The worst. He broke all kinds of records Arteta did for the wrong reasons. However, last 5 games of the season, he pulls out a little tune from these guys. And well, let me start actually with you, Mr. Nigerian Englishman, with Pepé. Talk to me about Pepé today.
Obviously, you know Pepe's my guy and that. So yeah.
I'm waiting for Brezzy to touch the comment section. I'm waiting for him.
Basically, obviously, he listened to my pep talks on my channel, on this channel, and he got into gear. Like if you go through my channel and this channel and see the different things I've said about Pepé throughout the season, I've said he deserves a chance, and he gets a chance and does nonsense. Then he comes back in the side and he gets dropped out the side, and all sorts of things are going on. And what I did say is, once there was nothing else to play for, I want to see him playing back-to-back games so we can finally see if there really is a player in there.
So 4 goals in 2 games. Is there a player in there for you?
2 games ago, I remember he scored 1 goal. I think it was who was it against that you were talking about? I think what's the game where he scored 1 goal before the 2?
Was that UEFA Cup? Or
Nah. I think it was maybe Sheffield United. No. I don't know. Who did we play after Sheffield United?
I can't remember.
I can't remember that.
Anyway, so he scored 1
Chelsea,
goal, and I said I didn't see enough in the game for me to say that he's the type of guy we need. But since I said that, he's obviously seen it and he's pushed on.
He's been watching you, but been seeing your comments and said, you know what, the Nigerian Englishman is got a point there. You know what? I need to up my game.
So yeah, I hope this is not because there's zero pressure. He's just performing. I hope this is something he can kick on to next season now. Like I pray that's what's happened, and I pray that he's finally announced himself. Because I said I've been asking Pepé for a 9 out of 10 performance, and I guess he gave it to us today.
Yeah, I mean, we was pretty quiet in the first half, but we kind of stepped it up in the second half. I think when obviously news filtered through to them with the state of the scores in the other games. Gamza, I mean, how did you rate our performance today? Was we in any doubt at all with us during this game?
To me, that's been one of our best performances this season. Again, we've won games by bigger scorelines, but we haven't been convincing. I think today actually was the most convincing I've seen Arsenal for a long, long time, I should say.
First half?
First half wasn't too bad. Both teams were kind of feeling each other out, but again, we got into some good areas and had a couple of opportunities.
I don't think we looked like scoring in the first half. If I'm
we didn't really have that
honest,
little bit behind, but the build-up, we looked again, do you know what it is? I think it's because we wasn't just defending. Normally,
Right.
when do you know what I mean? Normally we're backs behind the ball with us, but from the start you can see we was trying to press and lock on them from early, and so yeah, it didn't feel as bad as how it has felt in recent times. So yeah, we didn't look like scoring apart from Partey had a couple of half chances in the first half.
It's getting closer.
Yeah, and again,
he
he looked like
hit the bar now.
yeah, and he looked like he played 10 yards higher as well, and that really helped.
Yep.
Yeah, again, I think it was just a positive kind of display. It wasn't the most kind of, you know what I mean, thrilling 45, but for me, it was a lot better than what I have seen in recent months. So, yeah, I'll take a lot of credit. I'll take a lot of pride from today and say it shows good signs. Like that 11 with a couple more additions is not bad going forward. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I could say to a man, I think everyone performed quite well.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm on here pulling them hair out with some players, and I've got to say, Xhaka today looked pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid.
I mean,
Yeah.
So that kind of moves me on, and I guess there is talk of recruits in the summer. It is, we all know and documented that it's needed. Mr. Silver Fox, I mean, did Basuma pass his audition today?
Why did you give that to him? Oh, okay. Cool.
Listen. You can jump in, Nigerian Englishman. You can jump in. I mean, did he pass his audition today?
Yeah, I'd say yes, he did. He's so obviously the team that's around him isn't near as good as what our team is. But he had a chance as well, didn't he? Just went over the bar or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he has flashes. But I think we're all in agreement that it's the kind of player that we need, especially next to Pai. Yeah, I like what I see. Probably not more of what I saw today, but over the season, he ticks the boxes for me. I'm going to bring it to Nigerian because he really wants to talk about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. Yeah. So then that Shaq Blur talk. Even though I did watch him check that Shaq LeBeau guy, it looks like he's a good player. But if we have to pick one of the two, it's got to be Basuma. Like within the first 5 minutes, he showed me a reminder enough why we need to sign him. If you saw it, like he received the ball on the edge of the box, and it was in a tight angle. He turned it. It looked like he was going to lose it each time, but no, he didn't. He covered it, shielded it, got it back to his player. And then I think it was another through ball, 30-yard pass that the striker brought down well, but I think Holdinho, as Silver Fox would say, dealt with the situation there. But yeah, I like that he's good in tight spaces. Defensively, he doesn't go on his feet a lot.
He's fast, isn't he? He is fast.
Yeah.
He gets around.
I love players that can win the ball on their feet. That's what I really like in the middle of the park as well. They don't have to slide tackle so he does that really, really well, and he's strong. And you can see that he was basically saying, "Come get me today." But the way he played, he was like, "Guys, this is where I want to be playing next season." Hook it up.
Do you know what? There was a couple of times I saw him off the ball kind of thing. A couple of times Xhaka kind of put his hand on his head, kind of when you kind of like in a friendly kind of way.
Yeah.
And I kind of think to myself,
There must be conversations beforehand. Do you know what I mean? Him and Pepé were talking at the end as well.
Yeah, you saw that. I saw that too.
Yeah, it's getting, but
so
French, one of them ones.
Yeah, for me,
So, listen, don't get me wrong. I think he'll be a great addition, but and also Sander Berge, not Sacre Bleu. Show some respect to his name.
It would just be nice to buy a player from the Premiership in their prime, off the back of a good season, not 2 years after they've had a good season. We just don't do it enough. Do you know what I mean? So,
or 2 years before they have a good season.
I think this has got to be our transfer policy now, because of the state of where we are now. Who we are. We can't ignore the competitions that we're in, how we've done in the competitions. We have to go back to where was we? What, George Graham, 86. And I'm taking you way back there when he started using the youth and trying to buy the best players from the also ran clubs like your Alan Smith signings and Brian Marwoods and all that. Do you know what I mean? And buying a Basuma. you know, and the Sander Berge kind of players. That
Why
kind
does
of,
he keep throwing that in there?
I'm throwing it in there.
And the Sander
Yeah, proper
Sander
seven.
Berge in there. Buendia will be good. Max
Okay,
Aarons, Tariq Lamptey. Listen,
Grealish.
there's enough
Huh?
in the Premiership for us to improve us. There's enough in the
100%.
Premiership to improve us.
For sure.
100%.
So that kind of like, I mean, with the game, I don't know. There was a point in time when, you know, fair enough, we didn't finish above the noisy neighbours kind of thing. And there was a point there where they were drawing and then they were losing, but we still hadn't scored. And I was just thinking, and I was saying to myself, do you know what?
Imagine.
It's just so Arsenal, where they lose and we don't win. And in the first half, I couldn't see us actually scoring. So fair play.
It just shows that Everton game really killed us.
It did, because we should not have lost. It was even that point. I mean,
Yeah.
Everton, West Ham, like is it like Fulham, bro? Like there's too many things that we can highlight.
Burnley. Yeah. There's a lot.
Like we just done some stupidness. But what I did see today, though, two things I noticed today. First of all, I think next season, as soon as Saka came on, that's kind of the look of the team for next season.
Yeah,
I think that's number one. I think hopefully I'd like us to replace Xhaka with Basuma, someone else for Chambers, and that's number one. Number two, I've realized that we need a different option up top, because we can't have such great people on each side that can whip in great balls, and our striker doesn't even bother to get into the box to get them.
Where do you stand with that? Because that is a because the signs are looking like that. Lacazette could be going. There's a huge question mark on him right now.
If I know Arsenal, we're going to get Giroud back.
Yeah, but you know what we laugh about?
We're not happy unless we got a Chelsea player in our team. We're not happy unless we got an ex-Chelsea player in our team. So
he's on big wages, so I couldn't see it. I mean, I know you're jesting, but it would be an Arsenal.
It's not the stupidest thing, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But what kind of, are there any strikers out there that could fit the 15-20 million pound kind of mold where you could feel that they could make a difference, or do we have one already?
For me personally, I'm loaning out Balogun, I'm loaning out Eddie. There's no need for them next season. For any
loaning Eddie.
Loan. Yeah, if we can't get a buyer, just loan him out. There's no need for him for next season, because we've only got one game a week, so we only need two strikers. So I would be looking at Edouard from Celtic. If Brentford don't come up, Ivan Toney. And
I watched him yesterday.
And so I've got one more wild card who we'll probably never go and get, but I think he would really suit us, and that's Callum Wilson.
Listen.
I like him.
I'm with you.
Oh my!
He's got pace. He's got pace to throw him behind, and he's good in the air. I just look. I'm not skeptical, but I look at where we shop. And to me, again, we could go abroad and get up Lucas Perez like we did before, but they have no impact in the Prem. For me, he's Premiership proven. He's got pace. He's strong. He's good in the air. He's good at holding up the ball. He's got a bit of what we lacked. Do you know what I mean? He's got a bit of a Lacazette in him. Yeah, but he's got a bit more of an eye for goal. And he's got me better in the air than Aubameyang. So for me, I'll be looking at. So there's no one else available, but I think Edouard we could probably go and grab from Celtic, because he's only got a year left.
And get him for like 12 million, I reckon.
Yeah, so for me that's a no-brainer. You go and get him, and he plays back up to Aubameyang. That's personally.
I like the Callum Wilson one. I think he would be a good addition, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
I like him.
So basically, Ken has heard nothing after the Callum Wilson's comment.
I didn't. That was it. Callum Wilson, I was blinkered. Callum Wilson. No, listen, I rate him, right? I don't think he's the type of player that will cause a lot of teams a lot of problems, and it will be a different way for us to play and a different option. If it's not working one way, you kind of switch up and you cause teams, you ask another question. And I think at the moment we lack that. We like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Look, like, just the reference to Brezi's comment. I hear what he's saying, and again, if we was in Europe, I'd be keeping Balogun and he'd be starting in Europe for me. But we're not, and he could end up being like Reece Nelson, where he wastes the season because he might not get many minutes. Because again, we're playing once a week, so the fact is, Abba will be starting 9 times out of 10 in the league, so he might get a couple of cameo 15-minute roles. It's not enough for him. He needs to go and get a year under his belt. Look at Smith Rowe after having a good solid loan. Look at what he's come back and doing. Do you know what I mean? And I look at Reece Nelson, and
he's stagnated or regressed.
Yeah, and again, it's not. Then you look at the flip and look at Willock and Maitland-Niles. Them lot have had a good loan, and now look at them. Yeah, so to me,
Mr. Fox, Mr. Fox, Willock, talk to me.
2 goals again,
Willock.
eh?
What's that? 7 and 6 last 6, isn't it? 7 in the last.
Oh, did he score 2 today?
He scored 2, yeah.
Scored 2. Come on,
he's making statements, isn't he?
You know what? I'm not even going to call you
decent
Nigerian.
goals?
I'm going to call you Mr. Englishman right now. Mr. Englishman, you cannot now.
Look at my English eye, yeah. My English eye, yeah.
You
know the
can't
Nigerian
ignore it.
side.
You can't ignore
Okay,
it.
wait, hold on. What were the goals like today? Like, what were they like? Another 2 tap-ins or what?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Lampard never hardly scored screamers and
Who didn't score screamers? Don't say Lampard's name and not say he scored
He
screamers.
did, no, I wouldn't say that was it. That wasn't his trademark. Was your 6-yard
30
box?
yarders.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Willock only scored 1 today.
Reflection
He didn't
goals.
score 2.
Sorry.
Willock only scored 1. He didn't score 2. Shaw got a
You
penalty.
giving him big ups and that. Relax.
I heard he scored 2.
Sorry. He only scored 1, but that is 6 and 6. Come on, man.
6 and 6.
Put some respect on his name,
You can't argue with that. You can't.
Mr. Nigerian Englishman.
Look,
I mean, that's some serious stats there. What he's pulling out,
I agree, and I've had no problem in seeing him back in the mix of things in pre-season, seeing what that looks like.
Yep.
But if he doesn't shine, if he's like hiding like he has been when he's got a Premier League start, not these Farmers League starts that he performs in, scores 1 or 2 goals. I'm talking about a Premier League game that matters.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even go against playing him a couple games in the Premier League next season, and then if he doesn't show it in those first few games, getting rid of him before the window closes. Like, if we get a 30 million bid for him, though, we got to take it personally.
That's serious money. That's serious money.
Let's be honest. But if we don't, I guess like he's not any worse than El Neni, I guess.
He offers something different. And
we are losing Ceballos in terms of as a body in our squad. So as a body, he's a good squad player. Yeah. Sure.
No. So I was going to ask you about that. Obviously, Ceballos was on the bench. He didn't get on, etc. With him,
I said his name as well. Oh,
you did loud and clear twice. So there's obviously there has to be recruitments in the middle of the park. And I know we spoke about Pursuum and Sander Berge. But who else? I mean, who else or where else would you see us making, possible recruitments and strengthening where we need to strengthen it? And do you have any names for us? Mr. Silver Fox?
So right back's the first obvious one.
Yeah.
I like what Chambers has done, but he's not a right back. Let's have that right. We've been hearing about Tariq Lamptey. Who was the other one?
Max Aarons. There's that other one. There's another one, isn't there? There's a guy from abroad.
Hakimi.
Ashraf Hakimi.
And there's another one. There's someone from Spain we've been looking at.
Won't happen. He's just joined in, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he won't be going anywhere. Hakimi.
I do look at you may, I don't know what you're going to say about this, but Matty Cash, Aston Villa.
I like him. That's a good shout. A very, very good shout.
I'm not upset.
He won't cost too much. He won't cost too much.
I think he will now.
As well as going forward.
I think he would now with a good
season. Not like
how much?
Yeah.
You're talking 25 plus.
25 plus, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, Villa can't ask.
I think they would. I think they'd ask for more.
You reckon?
Yeah, and again, depends how long his contract is, isn't it? If he's got
Yeah.
5 years or so, or 4 years, they're going to
Huge.
hold out for
Yeah.
30, aren't they?
True,
So,
true.
What if you throw Chambers in the deal?
Ooh, that does change it, mate.
would you rather throw Chambers or make Lenars in?
Oh.
Ooh, what are you lot doing tonight?
Yeah,
These are some scenarios right here.
Well, Villa would like, surely.
I haven't seen. I haven't been keeping an eye on Maitland-Niles' form. Like, has he been playing well?
He's done all right. He has done all right, to be fair. Like,
He quit smoking
he has-
and stuff. Yeah.
he has. Yeah, he ain't looked out of place.
He's smoking something most of the time, isn't it?
He's so laid back. So
Oh
calm.
my god! But listen, I mean, look. I just want to get back to our season and the game today. On the whole,
What are
disappointed.
you saying about Odegaard?
He was
We're
good
not
against
getting back,
it.
are we?
If we can get him on loan for another season, yes. I don't
think we
think
will.
he's someone we should. Maybe if after the next season he does do very well, then maybe, and we get to Champions League, maybe try, maybe buy him. But I don't think. I think what we should do is probably try and hold our powder on that. That keep that money back, have him if we can on a loan, and strengthen the other areas that is needed. But I can't see him staying with us. Although he might. I mean, we'll Sociedad in Europe last year when he
To
was
be
at
honest,
Sociedad.
like,
I can't remember.
I don't think so, but I reckon he would stay. But I just don't think we should do it. And the reason why is I reckon we should commit all our attention on Buendia and the reason because he's already. I reckon, in terms of their progression as a footballer, Buendia's further ahead. He's if you look at his numbers of games in the last 2 years, Buendia's played more consistently than him. Odegaard's got a little bit of an injury-prone kind of side to him. He's a bit delicate.
I do want to ask you guys on that though. I mean, the year that Norwich were in the Premiership, there wasn't that big a talk about this guy Buendia. So why
he went under the radar? But he still had a lot of chances created, didn't he? For
Really?
Norwich?
Third most created chances in the league in that season.
Yeah,
at Norwich.
So I think
impressive.
Yeah, definitely, that's definitely impressive. But sometimes you've got to look at. I'm not too sure if it was corners or not, and that's where you have to take things into account. Like when they were saying Luke Shaw's created the most chances, when you looked at it, it was like 95% from corners or the spamming crosses in the box. You know what I mean?
This is what I mean about stats. This is what I mean about stats.
But then you look at his numbers this season: 16 goals, 15 assists. I know it's the Championship, but I don't think Odegaard would do that in the Championship in terms of his physicality of dealing with it.
Can I throw another name at you?
Yeah.
Go.
What about Matheus Pereira, West Brom?
Oh, I love him. I would take him as well if I had the chance.
I don't know. I'm a bit reserved about him. I mean, he scored a great goal against us, to be fair.
The players are what? At where? What position?
Go on, Silverfox.
Well, I suppose he could play anywhere.
He could play anywhere across the three, can't he?
But I think I've seen him better in a central role.
In that case, no, I don't want
to. No. Why?
I wouldn't trust him as a centre forward for Arsenal anyway, not for West Brom, by the way.
No, but behind the front man.
As a number 10, I just don't think that he's got enough in his game in terms of off the ball to play that number 10. But he's a good player, don't get me wrong. If we didn't have like maybe a Saka, then maybe I'd sign him, something like that. But we do have a really good player in him. So.
I think what he offers you that versatility and flexibility because again he can play on the right, the left, or through the middle. So you now got a four of Smith Rowe, Saka, Pereira, and Pepé. He could deputise for any one of the three. Do you know what I mean? And again, his role probably coming in doesn't hamper Smith Rowe as much. I think if Odegaard comes in, he's coming in to start, or he's not coming. Whereas I think with someone like Pereira, he'd probably be a bit happier with a bit part position. So Smith Rowe could be maybe the starter and he's just there as the backup for either one of the three
Yeah.
whoever's not performing, he can just go in left, right, or central. So I think he gives you that bit of flexibility. Whereas I think Odegaard, if he comes, he's the central player and he's starting, and then Smith Rowe then has to do a job either side. Or do you know what I mean? So I think it's those things you've got to look at if you want to build around Smith Rowe or let Smith Rowe be the backup. So, but they're talking about a 5-year contract for Smith Rowe, aren't they? So that would be
you have to.
got to tie him down. You got to tie him down, but
I don't think Smith Rowe should be our main number 10 next season.
Yeah,
I don't think he's ready for that role yet. I want him in and out of the side for one more year, and then maybe we can talk about him doing that.
Wow. That's. I mean, I think the old adage: if you're good enough, then you're old enough, kind of thing. And to be fair, I think for Smith Rowe, it would be a good summer for him to kind of get into the gym, get some size on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so he doesn't get bounced off, get that low, because he's got low center of gravity, but get a proper Maradona-esque low center of gravity. Do you know what I mean? So he doesn't get pushed off the ball. Man, so I'm going to come to you now, Mr. Sybil Fox, and I'm going to ask you a question. I think I know what the answer is going to be, but is Holding our number one centre back for next season?
Thing is, you ask me, he's my guy. But look, listen. For me, he's proved it this season. He's been solid. The numbers do speak for themselves. Yeah, there's a few laps of concentration in him, but it's the same with all the players in our team, really, innit? Let's have that right. But
like in the first half, earlier.
Consistently.
I just want to actually get this in. I've just seen this come in, and I think it's a very good question. Do you guys think that we won't be seeing much of Balogun, Saliba, Willock, Martinelli, etc. next season without Europe? They won't be starting crucial Prem games. Subs appearances mostly. Shame no Europe from them. I mean, look, my thing is that if we did get into that conference thing, and we spoke about this, didn't we? Said just play the kids.
Yeah,
it'll be a great experience for them. Just play exactly those kids there. What Ads has mentioned there. They're the type of games that these guys should be playing it, and if they excel in that, and also the Carabao Cup, then you bring them in, right? I mean, Nigerian Englishman. I mean, talk to me. You've got the biggest grin ever.
Check the private group chat, mate. Wait, what question are you asking me? Sorry.
Let me go then. I was listening. So I've kind of banged on about it in the last couple of shows where I said if we get Europe, I'll be keeping the likes of Willock, Balogun, and them guys. If we don't get Europe, as I said, for me, they need minutes. Do you know what I mean? They need the minutes. So it makes sense to go and give them a loan somewhere. Again, Willock's a perfect example of going out and playing your football under no pressure and developing, and he might be ready to come back in. And depending what happens with the El Nenes and them guys, if Willock has to go out again, I'm sure Newcastle will bite our hand off to take him for another year. Let him go and develop, and then next year, if we do make Champions League or Europe and we've got more games, then he's ready to come back in. Saliba, I think you make a choice out of Saliba and Mavropanos, which one you want to keep and which one you want to lend back out again. Yeah, for me, Balogun, let him go and get 30 games. And we've got to stop being so precious with our youngsters. It's like, we want them to be here and now. And in fact, actually, sometimes they got to go under the radar for 2 years. Again, you look at Smith Rowe, he's been to Leipzig and he's been to Huddersfield. He's come back and now he's ready. Chelsea are renowned for having like 30 players out on loan, and then one would turn up and like a Billy Gilmore. We don't really know where he's been before, but he's ready to play. So we got to stop being so precious, letting some of these players go out and develop. And if they're not ready, you might be able to grab 20 million from them because they've had a year's experience somewhere. If they just play 23s, you're now talking 10 millions. Do you know what I mean? So you got to sometimes let these guys go out and play. Martinelli, I hope we keep. Saliba, I would like to see him, but again, if there's not going to be much minutes for him, let him go and play in the Prem. Let him go and play. So that's my thoughts on it.
Mate.
I see the Spurs guy in here.
This guy's back after a 3-week hiatus, after a sabbatical. He's
I'm
back in
telling
the
you,
comment section.
he wanted to
End
hide.
of the
Look,
season.
the funny thing is, look at how the watching numbers. All the obviously all the
Spurs fans are
fans
in.
have finished their
They're in now,
reaction
bro.
and they're jumping on here. Let them come. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? You now come alive. Come alive. Come alive.
The funny thing is, yeah, like, because I remember in the group chat, someone said we're gonna be the guys that are gonna get the banter throughout the summer. To be honest, that's not a new thing for us over the last few years, guys. Let's be honest. But there's one group that can never ever say nothing to me, and that's the Spurs.
man. Yeah.
Course.
They've got nothing for me, bro. They literally, like, no matter what they say to, we finished above you. At the end of the day, they're still Tottenham.
Yeah.
They are still Tottenham. So all of this one, and I'm happy that he's having his day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where
that's the thing. They're in this conference league thing now, whatever it is, and also
they might win.
The most foolish thing they did is that they even let Chelsea into a Champions League spot.
League.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's how dumb Spurs supporters are. But anyway, we should.
Have you seen that?
Oh my God!
It's a trophy for the minute. It's a trophy for them.
Do you know what? They actually might win that.
Yeah,
they might win that because I think what happens, the best teams, or sorry, the third place league teams in their groups from the Europa League go into that conference.
Now, do you know, hand on heart, I was happy today if we had won, Tottenham had lost, and Everton won, and let Everton go into that cup. I was my thing today was just finishing above Tottenham. And again, that might hamper them from next year because again, you're playing on Thursdays. Yeah. Whereas, to be fair, like when Chelsea won the league, like when Leicester won the league, they had one game a week to focus. You could really get your head down and knuckle in and just do what you got to do. So, and again, you can thin out your squad a little bit more. Yeah. Because you haven't got the same kind of game. So you could, as I said, this year now, my whole transfer kind of ideas changes because before you're thinking, I need backup for a left back, I need backup for this guy. Now you're not really as precious with that. So yeah, you can probably spend the money a bit different and actually go and get the first team guys you need and really improve that first 11. And I think with Tottenham, they got to be careful because if Harry Kane goes,
he's gone.
Gareth Bale ain't coming back. Can they really attract some players? Like,
can they attract a manager? Can they even attract a manager?
Yeah, they got
I reckon Eddie Howe's a good shot for them, or Tim Sherwood. There's a good shot.
Was it even Paul Mercer was bantering them, talking about how the advert is going to be for ages in the newspaper. Because no one wants to. Who wants to manage the club with no Kane? Obviously, no Bell's going to be there. It's hilarious that you watch next year is gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna get hard, man. It's gonna get real hard.
Listen, and you watch the same thing. All of them will just go missing when they're doing bad. When they come up with one kind of victory. Today is their DVD day. They're gonna make a DVD on that 4-2 victory. They can make a DVD. The day we finished above Arsenal. That's their DVD. The day we finished above Arsenal.
But do you know what? Do you know what the funniest thing out of all this is that them being in the Conference League is worse for them. The fact that Harry Kane's leaving. And literally, that's actually worse for them. Like, they don't want to be focusing on playing on Thursday night and when they've got no top striker, bro.
Also as well, wasn't Trippier the 87th player?
Bro, you're being generous saying 87, bro. Come on, it's a lot more than that, big man. But yeah,
I saw this year.
But also as well, what's his name's involved in the Portuguese Cup final tonight for Tongan. So he's going to be there. Yeah, so he's going to.
Ericsson as well. Ericsson bagged the
Ericsson as well. Oh my God!
And if Villarreal win, then Foy and Caputo.
Mate, it's peak.
Oh
it's peak.
God.
What was it? Defoe got his little
Defoe bagged one as well, innit? Yeah, Defoe bagged one.
Oh my God!
Man.
That's such a banter club, man. If you want to win a trophy and you're playing football at Spurs, you need to leave.
Yeah, you got to bounce.
You need to leave. You need to leave.
You've won today's battle, but we stay winning the wars against you lot.
That's the thing. Yeah. There's a war. There's a war going on outside. We've won a couple battles. Yeah, exactly. So listen, I mean, okay. So today's game, as I said, it was kind of like a non-event, a game that we should have won, did win, did our job. So we turn our attention now to next season. For you guys, I just want to touch on the manager. There may be a couple of green shoots of recovery, maybe, of his process starting to kind of bear fruit a little. I'm not gonna say trust in the process, but where is the cutoff point at the start of the season next year for you to say, nah, you know what, enough is enough, he has to go? Or do you know what, I'm liking this guy? What I mean, give me both two scenarios really, where for the manager, Gumza.
So for me, just touching on this season and going into next, I think he's improved our away form, but our home form has been shocking. Today, maybe having the fans in actually helped the team, because it seemed like it did push us forward a bit more. We we haven't played well at home at all season, and today was one of the better days going forward, playing at home. So I'm hoping that helps him. For me, depending on our first 6 fixtures, if we start like we started last year, and again, I've been an Arteta in guy, I can't defend him anymore if we start off badly. As I said, the first 5, we need to be getting 4 wins at least in our first 5. Again, only got to concentrate on one game a week. I'd only sacrifice a little bit of that if we have, say, 3 of the top 6 teams in that first 5 games. Then I can say fair enough. If you get City, Liverpool, and Chelsea in there, say, then I expect actually we're not going to get that many points. But yeah, if we get middle of the road teams, we've got to be winning 4 out of the 5, and I've got to see better performances as well. Yeah. Again, we're not Tottenham where they were happy just taking any trophy, playing the most negative football. Like Arsenal stands for something. You've got to play some attractive football at the same time. So
I think we did that in the second half, didn't we?
Yeah.
Definitely in the second half.
He has made us stronger defensively. One thing I don't want to see anymore, I hate this 11 guys behind the ball sometimes when we're defending corners and stuff.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Just throw 1 or 2 up there and just give the other team something to think about. Do you know what I mean? We invite so much pressure from doing it, because if I look round and there's no one back here, I'm pushing on.
Yeah,
so,
I think I understand it, because I think,
we've been so bad for years defending corners and stuff. I get it. But yeah, I think it's time to push on a bit now, isn't it? Like, we can't just be this negative team. Like I said, we're not Tottenham and we're not Mourinho. Like, let's actually, do you know what I mean, give it a go next season. So I'd much rather go at a team and be in a game rather than losing 1-0. Like the Everton game, that was horrific. Do you know what I mean? And the Fulham game and stuff like that.
Stale. It was unbelievable. So stale.
So yeah, I want to see a bit of change of philosophy. So a bit more expansive football. But yeah, I think he's really got to hit the ground running next year. This year he was allowed to have a bad season with all the people leaving, like your Ozils, your Mustafis, all those guys kind of changing the scenario, which we needed to do. I wanted us to get rid of a lot of players, and he's done it. This guy's in the comments going wild, but I can't wait for next season.
Literally, bro, let him have his day, bro. Have your day, man. Have your day. I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say 5-6 games. If he hasn't started well, then it's time to change. But I do believe he's going to do some good things in the market. I do feel he's been the first manager. Him and Edu have addressed some problems with actual good signings. You look at our starting 11 today, and obviously Aubameyang's the oldest at 31, and then after that it's like Xhaka and Partey, who are like late 20s, and the rest of it's very young teams. So again, looking at that team's for the future. You look at, again, we're going to call Sam in, his Tottenham team, them guys there, like Ori and that, they're not producing, and they're a big age, and Sissoko and Sanchez, do you know what I mean? They got some dead. They're looking at them as how we looked a couple of years ago with your Mustafis and those 100%. Guys there. I think we've turned the corner a bit with some of our squad, so we're looking like I think we're on the up. I do feel we've got better points this year than last year.
Yeah, I'm not getting gassed. I'm definitely not getting anywhere near gassed about. The jury's still well and truly out on him. Nigerian Englishman, give me your scenarios for what would you expect? What's acceptable and not acceptable for you for the start of next season?
Okay, so first thing that he needs to fix or change is either buy a striker that he's gonna, whatever this style of football he plays suits to, or find a way. Who in the modern day? Okay, who out there would you think would suit his style?
What striker?
Boy.
I'd say I think Calvert-Lewin.
You think so?
Just because, again, that cross coming for Albert earlier and a Calvert-Lewin gobbles that up. Do you know what I mean? 2 went in for him.
Right.
And I just feel we don't cut teams open like we used to through the middle. So actually maybe a bit of presence.
I'm trying
in
to
that
think, is
central
there a
area.
striker out there that's good in the air and quick and has good feet?
Haaland.
Who we can afford?
Nah, but look, all he needs to do is change his style of play a little bit. Have some little tweaks that gives Abba more chances in a game. He needs to do that.
You see that comment?
Well, he's going to be better than any striker you have at your club next season, Stan. So, boy, I'd stop laughing about Benteke right now if I were you, big.
Oh dear.
You like Callum Wilson, innit?
I do. I really do. And
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
So
I don't know. In terms of strikers wise, I don't know. But if after 10 games we've lost more than two games, he has to go.
After 10 games?
That's what I'm saying.
Lost 2.
If after 10 games we've lost 2 or more, he has to go. No, he has to. He's lost more than 2. He's got to go, bro. I don't
if
care
that
who
2
we're
was
playing.
just say that 3 was Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. Would you still say he's got? But we won the other 7. Would you then say he's still got to go?
Okay, if we won the other 7, then where?
But if you put in, say, 3 draws, 3 losses, and 4 wins, you're saying, door.
Yeah, door.
I'm with you.
Wow.
What's the point? Because he can't get another January window. The new man needs a January window and some time to figure out who he's going to get rid of or who he likes before January as well. So I think that gives the new guy enough time to kind of figure it out. Just a question for you. Just a question. Yeah. How would you rate Tuchel at the moment? Because everyone's singing and dancing about him, but again, I know do you know what I mean? He's lost some silly games. They're not scoring goals. I know Werner misses a lot, but they're not really scoring.
They should have won today. Villa have not really got anything to play for.
Yeah, Villa ain't done much. And everyone's going mad about him, and he's got real talent in that squad. So that's what sometimes it's harsh on Arteta because we're not far off them teams, but our squad-wise, do you know what I mean? Nowhere near what they've got at their disposal.
I think Timo Werner, they tried to address, they need a striker. Timo Werner was supposed to be that one. And they just dashed Tammy Abrahams.
I don't get that at all.
Would you take him?
No. Tammy, like, what are you talking about now?
You need a Chelsea player in the team, I keep telling you.
Is it because he's Nigerian you thought I'd say yeah? Nah, bro. But when he turned us down for the national team, that was it for Tammy, bro.
Oh, for real?
Forget that guy. He's not getting any more England caps as well. He just wasted his international career, bro. For a little.
So you wouldn't? Nah.
Why? Don't ask me questions like that twice. What? Hey,
10 mil, something like that.
Nah, bro. Not even on loan, man. I don't want anything to do with that.
Fair dues. Gumza?
I don't. Do you know what? I don't know. Like I don't know if he's the answer, but I feel sometimes we like too much glorious signings, and sometimes we miss out on players that just do the job. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it wouldn't be my long-term solution. I just want. Again, I think there's been a few guys at Celtic who we should have gone and got, and we never, like a Van Dijk, that Simon. There's another centre back who went to Southampton where we was looking at him for ages, and Tierney's shown that actually you can come from Scotland and you can do bits. So do you know what? For me, Edouard would be the one. If I'm honest, I think it's probably an easier site transfer to get done.
Is he good in the air?
He's quite solid. Yeah, he's quite solid in the air, but he can finish. He can finish.
Okay. So, Callum Wilson's all right in the air.
I like Callum. I ain't gonna lie. I like Callum. I do like him. Nigerian's not hearing it.
What are you saying? What are you saying? Callum Wilson, Willock, straight swap. Would you have it?
No. Are you mad?
What?
Bro, are you crazy? Callum Wilson? Nah, bro. I want Callum Wilson and money for Willock, bro. That's what I'm saying. I want Callum Willock and Callum Wilson and money for Willock, bro. What? How old is Wilson?
I think it must be about 28, 29.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
man.
it. That's the only reason I stay away from
Sell
him.
on value.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna go with the model we're talking about going with, I think you go and get Edward. Well, Nigerian, your thing's gone again, bro. Yeah, I think if you're going for the model we're looking at now, you go and get Edward in. Again, it's either Edward or Tammy. They're young and they're gonna have still on value. I see man's face, but yeah, you go and get one of them because Abba's now gonna just peter out when he goes, isn't he? And then you've got the younger guys coming in. So yeah.
Say, just before we close, I am concerned with Abba. I really am.
Yeah.
I think in the first half he was trying to get, he was trying to get on the board that little bit more, but I'm really concerned with him because how does he integrate and how does he fit
exactly.
the team? And at the moment, it's not working.
No. And with strikers as well, isn't it? Like, if they're getting chances and missing, it's a good sign because at least they're getting in the right areas and getting onto anything. He's not even getting
scrapped.
Yeah,
no, but do you know what? Do you know what's happened? Like, and I blame Arteta badly for this Abba thing because what I saw today was a striker that stopped making runs because he's like, they don't even look for me, bro. They don't even look for me. So he's just I'm not even going to make those runs, like literally, because he's been making those runs all season and no one's put him through, bro. Like not regularly enough. And he just said, you know what? I'm not even.
The only one who seems to find him is Saka. He's the only one who seems to find him. It's really bizarre, but I did notice that as well. It's like he just didn't have that burst of pace or whatever. I don't know whether it's a.
Here's a stat for you, Kevin. Here's a stat for you. Here's a stat for you about Aubameyang. In the season where he's got paid the most money, he scored the least goal.
He got the contract he wanted.
Yeah, boy. He was playing
for
retirement
mode already, bro. Yeah.
He was playing for that contract, boy. Flipping heck. Oh my god. But guys, listen.
I think we lost today.
Yeah, it
feels like a loss.
Listen, we did our job, so I'm glad we did our job in the sense that look, and you're right. The Everton game. Well, there was loads of games that killed us. Burnley, Villa, Everton.
Wolves.
There's so many games that killed us.
Is Sam still there? Is Sam still there in the comments? If so, did you not see the handball for the goal for the third goal for Tottenham?
Listen, VAR are making it up now. They're making it up, right?
Did you see it?
They're putting time on it now. Because before they said if you handball it and then you pass the ball back defensively, you pass the ball back, then the handball doesn't count. And then you go forward and score, the handball doesn't count. However,
Nigerian, let me tell you where he handballed it at the penalty spot and he passed it back to the edge of the area and Bell scored from there. So it's not like it's a long motion, it's literally like the
they said it was the time. It was the time it took.
It's 5 seconds, like 5 seconds.
That's not what happened.
Nigerian, I swear on my life, it was their third goal. If you see it, I don't understand it. These rules are crazy.
Basically, they just wanted Arsenal out of Europe. Is that what it was?
It seemed like it. Like, I'm telling you, it was. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, because there was one earlier in the year where there's a handball and they brought it back from about a minute ago. Do you remember? And then they changed the rules. But I don't like these changing rules throughout the season as well.
You can't change it mid-season.
You shouldn't change a rule mid-season. Yeah. Whatever your rules at the start, you end with because it's unfair on the teams that's gone against it earlier.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So,
but what can you do? Look, listen, at the end of the day, I think we need to start next season like a proper, train. You need to start it running. Make sure we start well. We pick up the wins, get a good camaraderie going with the squad. We haven't had that, I don't feel, for where everyone sits together and looks like that everyone's friends and stuff for ages. I mean, it all looks good, with the training Arsenal.com pictures and training sessions.
I'm not watching another training video again.
I hate that. Yeah, it's just like, they look good. But guys, I want to thank you again. It's been a tough season. You called it, Nigerian Englishman. We're finishing above, and that's exactly where we finished.
Bang on, mate. Bang on. Hang on,
called
I've been
it.
saying it,
You got the lottery numbers next week, mate. Flipping
Mate.
it.
Wait, do you see what? I know my team, bro. I know my team. I've seen these signs of a little good form here and there that tickle us to think we're gonna. I've seen it so many years, bro. I call bullshit when I see it, man.
Yeah, and that's it. And do you know what the thing is? My view is if we don't start off next season with 4 wins out of 4, and I'm including these big games as well. The reason I'm saying that is that look, we need to turn a corner here. We need to actually start acting and dealing. We can't lose our first 5 games. That's my target, basically. Not losing.
Do you think it's mad though that 5 wins out of 5 is our best record since Emery's first season? That form is poor. 5 out of 5 wins is our best forms for like 3 years. That is mad.
I don't even
There's a couple
know.
of things that the biggest thing we need to do this time, which I know we won't, because I don't know if we know how to do football anymore. Just get our deals done early. Please, let's have a proper pre-season with our new signings and all that. Yeah, if we can get Basuma and a right back before the Euros, I'm at least that. I'm good in it. I'm good at least.
The
rest of the stuff we can fill in and all that stuff.
Let's start acting like a proper big club.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That frustrates me. I hate, like, when you watch Bayern Munich and them man a signed man from February
Before they're
coming
in
in the summer.
Get me.
They signed him from the summer before.
Chelsea done that with Ziyech the other week, last year, didn't they? Had him tied up before. For me, the players there, go and get them.
And this is not players that have pre-contract agreements within their last. These are 3 years left, 2 years left. They don't they don't care, bro. Announcing it. What March? We just signed this guy. Boom.
Done.
Who was that? Upamecano's gone to Bayern.
Upamecano's gone Bayern. Yeah.
That was announced 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I think
done. Just get it done.
We was linked with him for so long. We just missed out. I don't see why we just didn't pay the money, get him, boom, done. But hey,
I'm not pissed off at that, man.
No,
I don't even rate him that highly. You don't even start for France.
Let's see what he does at Bayern. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah.
Let's see, and then he comes into a Van Dijk and stuff, and everybody's like, oh, we could have got him for 50 million, but no, he's now worth 120 million, but we could have got him for 50.
That Van Dijk thing still hurts me, but from Celtic times we could have got him. From Celtic, we were talking about that,
wasn't it? Southampton got him.
Soyuncu as well. As well. We could have got him. It's like Leicester took our scouts or something, man. Because all the players we got linked with. I remember we were linked with Pryor. I'm not saying we should have signed him, but then Leicester signed him. All these different guys.
Even they've got thing, ain't they? What's that centre midfielder them man assigned? What's his name? Samare.
Oh, but Samari.
We were linked with him last year.
Yeah. But again, look how early they've got that done. So that takes the pressure off, innit? Look how early they've got that one done. So they ain't got no fears.
Just one thing I did notice, and I'm not sure whether to make anything of it. Did you see Ndidi at the end? He looked absolutely well, and rightly so. So he should be, but he looked pissed off. But not only pissed off, he looked fed up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I don't know. He'll probably if he was to leave, he'd probably go for less than 70.
Champions League. Yeah, but he'd be looking for Champions League, won't he now? So
exactly, yeah.
If United sign Ndidi, bro, I'm pissed.
I don't want to imagine it.
Or even listen, if any other teams, if Tottenham signed Ndidi, well, obviously wouldn't happen.
Oh, bro, kind of stop. Oh, man, that was good, bro. What a way to end the show, bro. Fuck it. Oh, Caddis. Yeah, that was hilarious, man.
And on that note, we out. Guys.
Oh, man, I'm literally in tears.
Could you imagine, eh?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Listen,
check my review out on One Touch TV later on tonight.
Everybody tune into that and subscribe and share One Touch TV. Also, please subscribe and share to Armoury TV, courtesy of FTB Sports. Listen, this is your boy Canners and my esteemed guests, as always, Gumza, an Nigerian Englishman. Blessed to have you on, guys. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Season's done. On to the next.
To Pepé.
Trust.
We are Arsenal.
Wembley bound.
We love Arsenal.
Oh yes,
We are Arsenal.
no mercy.
We're Arsenal.